Have you ever tried to ride a bike really slow? It's really difficult, right? You kind of wobble and wobble until you fall off. For some of you, slow practice is exactly like this. In a faster tempo, things go not too bad, but as soon as you slow down, it's like you've never even practiced the piece. You're not even sure what note comes next. So if this is you, you've probably asked yourself the question, I don't know why everybody's always talking about slow practice, but why the hell should I practice slow? So in this video, I'm going to show you why your playing gets worse when you slow down, what that means for you, and I'm going to help you answer the most important question of all. Should I actually be practicing slow? Why does your playing get worse when you practice slow? Isn't slow practice supposed to be easy? So I remember when I was a young piano student, I would love to play fast. It would be my favorite thing. And my teacher would practice slowly with me in the lesson. And that really helped me understand what slow was, what kind of tempo I would have to practice throughout the week. And I even used the metronome in order not to speed up. Now, when I was studying in the conservatory, I became a little bit better at slow practice by myself, but I still wasn't making the most out of my slow practice. And then I graduated and I started touring together with Dimitar. That was the moment that everything changed because every moment of my practice had to count. And here's the point where I really mastered slow practice. So the assumption that people make that slow practice is easy is bullshit, and teachers often forget to tell you this. Now you might be thinking, hey, wait a second, if you didn't get good at slow practice until you were a professional musician, how am I supposed to get good at it? Don't worry, because later on in the video, I've got some really easy exercises for you to do that will help you get better at slow practice. And the key word here is better, because you don't have to be a master at it in order to get the many rewards that slow practice can give you. Knowing that slow practice isn't easy helps explain a little bit why your practice gets worse when it gets slow, but it's not the full story. So let's explore exactly why your playing gets worse when you slow down. So when we learn a new piece, we learn in 3 different stages. And these stages are kind of like writing and then running a program. So step 1 is writing a draft. Step 2 is revising the draft. And step 3 is running the program. So if you look at this in piano playing, stage 1, the first draft, right, which in scientific terms is actually called the cognitive stage, that's the stage where your brain has to decide for every single note what to do, what movement to make, what note it is, what fingering to use, what sound to make. Every single thing is decided for each and every note individually. It takes a lot of brain power, takes a lot of energy, and a lot of conscious effort. It's basically like the information overload stage. Then you got stage 2, which was our revision stage. That's called the associative stage. And now, instead of treating each note as something separate, your brain starts to group them into small sequences. So you don't deal with information anymore individually, you make small groups, because it's preparing in this stage to run the program. It's preparing it for the next stage. And then finally, stage 3, running the program, it's called the autonomous stage. And what your brain does here, it runs the sequence that you've been building in stage 1 and 2. And here's the key part that explains everything. Whenever your brain doesn't know something, it fills in the gap based on past information. See, your brain is very good at predicting things. So even if you don't fully know a piece, sometimes in this stage you get into a kind of flow, and it's almost as if your fingers just play it. That's why in this stage you also see a lot of inconsistencies. You play it really well one day, and it really goes wrong the next day. And if you see a lot of inconsistencies in your playing, I know it can be really frustrating. That's why we made a course on this called the Mistake-Proof Pianist, and I'll put the link down in the description box below for you. This is why slow practice sometimes can feel so much worse than fast practice. Because in fast practice, your brain just runs the sequence, fills in the gaps, and if you slow it down again, your brain has to switch and think consciously about every single note. And you'll notice that you actually don't know every single note. So what happens if you only practice fast and you don't practice slow because it's such a struggle? Well, think about it. If you write a program, then revise it and then run it. If you do that for the first time, there's gonna be so many bugs. What you have to do is you go back, you write another draft, you revise it again, and then you run it again and see if the bugs are out. And you have to do this many times until you end up with a really good program. And these stages are also what people go through when they launch products. I mean, Apple does it all the time. What iPhone are we on, right? So this is the stages that everybody goes to in order to get improvement. And with piano, the improvement comes in with slow practice. So we've got stage 1 is slow tempo, stage 2 is medium tempo, and then stage 3 is fast tempo. So there's one extremely important question that I haven't answered yet. If my slow practice is so bad, Am I doing something wrong? If your fast playing is better than your slow playing, it means that you're doing a lot of things automatically and not consciously. If you go back to your first draft, there's gonna be a lot of holes in your conscious knowledge. And if you keep on only practicing fast and relying on your automatic pilot, you're going to hit a ceiling. You're gonna get inconsistent results, playing good one day, playing crappy the next. And you're also going to see that there's a certain speed that you can't go faster than that. So no, you're not doing anything wrong, but if you want to improve these things, you have to go back to your first draft stage. You have to go back to practicing slow. For me, just understanding why I have to do something always precedes me actually doing it. So if you're the same, you're probably convinced now, okay, I really do have to practice slow, and there's a reason why all professional musicians agree on the fact that you have to practice slow.
When you practice, it has to be slow.
I find it invaluable, slow practice.
Play it slowly, one note after another.
Let's take a look now at some exercises that you can do to instantly become better at practicing slow. The first one I call the minus exercise. I want you to take a piece and try to play it slow. I want you to check it with the metronome. Now I want you to do minus 20. Now keep in mind, these are not exact numbers. I cannot give you the exact BPM to practice. Most students feel either embarrassed or feel absolutely like it can't be that slow. This is just a little trick to help you feel slow faster. No pun intended. For the next exercise, I want you to take out your phone, turn on the recording device, and play a small section of your piece through in a very slow tempo. Then I want you to count the mistakes. If it's a couple of phrases, if you make more than one mistake, you're too fast. If it's in a whole page, if you make more than 2 mistakes, it's too fast. Once again, just an indication, but you get my point. If you're listening back and you're hearing lots of mistakes, that cannot be your slow tempo. Remember, slow tempo is in which you consciously decide every single note. When you consciously decide every single note, you have enough time to make sure it's the right note. And by the way, you should be taking time in your slow practice, even if it breaks the rhythm, to check your notes. Because if you don't, there's no point. Remember, this stage is about writing the program. If you don't take your time to write every single note in your brain, then there's no point of this stage. You're not actually doing this stage. You're already relying more on the automatic pilot. The last one I call Russian roulette, and it's really simple and very powerful. Now imagine there's somebody next to you with the gun and saying, if you make a mistake, I'm going to pull the trigger. My question is, how slow would you go? Very often we don't go slow enough because there's nothing at stake if we're sloppy. There's nothing at stake if you play a wrong note. So if there was a real consequence tied to your mistakes, how slow would you go? Just think about that, take the tempo and check it with the metronome, because that will give you something to hold on to and something to learn from. There's one more very important thing about slow practice that we glanced over a bit in this video, but it's something that I describe in very much detail in this video over here. And you should really go and watch it, because if you don't do this, you're still not going to get any good results out of your slow practice. So go out over there and go check it out.